All right, guys, in this video, we're going to talk about setting up your sales page. The last two videos, we talked about your headline and your thumbnail. And what both of those are designed to do is to sell a click. And what I mean by that is that with using good headlines and good thumbnails, you aren't selling your service. You're selling people that they should click it and read more. In this video, we're going to talk about the sales page itself. This is the part of the service that's actually going to convince someone to buy from you. So there are a lot of elements that go into this. This may be one of the longer videos in the course, but it's probably the most important. So I'm going to first show you an example of what not to do, because that's going to be pretty easy to go through. And then I'm going to show you a really, really good one. So the first one, the what not to do, is, and I'm not trying to pick on this particular person. I'm sure he does a great job. I just found one that makes for a good example of what not to do. So this one, I mean, we could talk about the thumbnail, but we don't. And the headline, you see how he doesn't match either of the things that we talked about there. Now, about the sales page. All it says is, according to Google, 1 high-quality backlink equals 1,000 low-quality backlinks. First of all, that's not accurate, but that's beside the point. It doesn't mean a lot if you don't know about SEO, that you don't even know why you need 1 backlink or 1,000 backlinks or anything. There's no story to it. There's no information. Then he just goes right into what you will get. Mixed profiles, backlinks, including forum profiles and SN profiles. There's not a great grammar there. The grammar needs some work. Now, mistakes happen, but that's one thing that people will hold against you. Some links will come with links as anchor text, Mixed to follow. Basically a bunch of, not even a bunch, but a few nerdy details is all you get. I read this and I have no idea what he's offering, and I do SEO. And it shows that he didn't put much effort into writing this. He just listed what he'll do, and that's the end of it. And this is actually not even the worst one I've seen, because at least he put some colors and tried to give a little bit of background. So that's pretty much it. Just don't do this. So let me show you one of mine that has worked really, really well. And that is this one, the Superstar SEO Ranking Rocket. I'm going to walk through the entire page and kind of explain why I used the elements that I used. I'll try to explain the different elements. So first of all, Superstar SEO Ranking Rocket. That was done for SEO purposes. It doesn't necessarily need to start with the title, but I do that because I wanted to rank it in Google for that term. This word packages doesn't need to be there. So what I'm doing now, instead of just going into what the service does, I tell a story. So picture this and see how I'm talking to someone rather than talking about myself or my service. I'm trying to relate to them and tell them a story about why this service will be good for them. Picture this. You've just signed a new client. You've written your content, optimized your site, built your foundational links, and then in big letters, you're stuck on page 2. I think I spelled your wrong. That's a big pain point for people that do SEO. They don't want to be on page 2. They want to be on page 1. So a pain point is something that people don't want and they are looking for a solution to. So whenever you sell anything, whether it's a service or anything else, you are solving someone's problem. And in this case, I'm identifying their problem as being stuck on page number 2. So the next part is your client is calling you, complaining that they aren't seeing any results, wondering what they're paying you for. They say they're wasting their money and threaten to go with someone else. You've got bills to pay and a reputation to maintain, so you can't afford to lose this client by not getting them the rankings you promised. But you're stuck on page 2. And guess what? So what I did there was called agitating. We identified the problem up here. You're stuck on page 2. And then we agitated it by showing what will happen to them, what's happening to them to because they're stuck on page 2 and what is going to happen to them if they don't solve this problem. Then the next line is, it's not your fault. That's very powerful, because people they want to buy a solution, and if they feel like they're the problem, it won't help. But if they feel like the problem is beyond their control, but you can solve it for them, then you're more likely to convert. Trust me, I know. See, what I'm doing there is relating to them. They don't know me in theory when they look at this page, but what I'm doing there is putting it that I understand their pain. I've been doing SEO for clients since 2013, and I face the same problems you do. See how I'm relating to them again? Cranky clients, stalled out rankings, fear that you can't deliver, and that, again, just more relating. I couldn't stand it. I was tired of seeing my rankings stay in the same position day after day, week after week, and on and on. See, there I'm agitating and relating. I hated having to come up with excuses to tell my clients, and most importantly, I hated not having a way to improve my rankings and control my business. See how I'm emphasizing that I was powerless too, just like they are? And then we have what we call the eureka or the aha or epiphany moment. So I decided to make a change. Basically what you're doing there is telling them that a change is possible to take them out of that pain state. And then we go into it. I decided to put my head down, do the research, test and retest to come up with a system that would get my rankings unstuck. It took months of research, thousands of dollars, and multiple failures, but in the end, I cracked the code. So what I'm doing there is showing that some authority and some expertise, that I've taken the time to research what the problem that we've identified and found a way to solve it. That phrase, I cracked the code, works really, really well. I was able to put together a system. System is very powerful. People think there's always some sort of magic solution to their problem, and that you, as the person selling it, have that magic system that will solve it, that would consistently get my clients' sites to rank, even when they are stuck on page 2. See how we loop back to the original problem? But I was left with a dilemma. Do I keep this system to myself? I'm just zooming in so you can see it a little better. Where did it go? Or do I reveal it to other SEOs who were experiencing the same pain I was? See, at that point, I was even blatant about it, that we're talking about their pain. And I'm also emphasizing that I have the secret to their success. I released the system to a test group of special SEOs to see if they could replicate the same amazing results I got. That way, what I'm doing there is I'm showing proof of concept, more or less. And then check out what some of them had to say. And then I have a testimonial, and this is a real testimonial with real results, by the way. Nothing is more powerful in making a sale than being able to show that other people have gotten it. People want to believe other people. And that's what as much testimonials as you possibly can do, or as evidence. And then there's some more. And then I said, and they just kept pouring in, just to emphasize that there were so many of them that we got them so much success. But then I go back into teasing a little bit. But this left me with a dilemma. Do I release it to the public so they can get results like this, and then I show some results? Or do I keep it underground? So basically, you're making them feel like they're a part of something secret and special. People love secrets and love to be in the know on things. So that's kind of what I'm emphasizing there. The thought of so many other SEOs out there, SEOs like you that are struggling to break out of page 2 hell. See how, again, I'm re-emphasizing that they have a problem and they need a solution, was too much for me to handle. So I decided to help out. So for a limited time, that's very important. Scarcity breeds, I don't know what the right word is, but it forces people into action. So, don't be fake, if it's not really for a limited time, don't put that it's a limited time, but come up with a way to make scarcity, make it the price is going to go up, or the service is going to be taken away, or I have only a few spots, something like that. I'm releasing the Superstar SEO ranking rocket to the public with a steep discount. That one's pretty self-explanatory. People love a discount. What will you get? And then you actually do need, just for the sake of the marketplace and their rules and things, it's best to make sure that you list specifically and in as simple a language as possible what they're going to get. I break out each of the packages here, and then I say what you'll get with all the packages, and then I add something to make them feel safe again. Comfort in the knowledge that your SEO is being handled by a 5-year veteran that cares about your business and clients as much as you do. So then again, I'm establishing my authority and building trust with them. Hurry though, that's more scarcity. I can't offer this service at these prices for long. Again, that's perfect. That's totally true, but don't put stuff like that if it's not true. I sell the individual pieces of these packages separately at a much higher rate, also true. You literally have nothing to lose unless you don't act now. And one thing I would do if I had this to do over again, but I sign off with my name and a picture of myself just to reestablish that trust and things like that. I could probably use a better picture, but if I had this to do over, one thing I would do would be put a PS. PS, I know I said this already, but I want to make sure you don't miss out. I'm really not making very much profit on this, and I won't be able to maintain this rate much longer. So jump on this by clicking the green buy button at the top of this page as soon as you can. Something like that. And then I go into this. You'll be asked to provide the following. I've just found that this helps with conversions because people are unsure of what they're going to need. And then you just kind of tell them what to expect. That's important. I find that helps you save on potential disputes and people with unrealistic expectations and so on. I do a FAQ, frequently asked questions. So basically, anytime you get a question about your service, add it to this, and then come up with a handful to begin with so people know what to expect. A disclaimer, you don't necessarily have to have this, but with SEO, it kind of helps because you can't guarantee the results. If you were doing like a graphic design or something, you wouldn't need a disclaimer. Same with refunds. So those are kind of the key elements. So let's kind of glance back over that very quick. And I'll just say what each one is. This is just for SEO purposes. This is talking to them about their issue. This is agitating their issue. This is removing the blame from them. This is relating to them. This is more relating. This is the aha or epiphany moment. And this is you showing how you have the secret formula to solve their problems. This is proof, proof, proof. And then this is scarcity and teasing. This is scarcity. This is scarcity. And then these are details. And then this is more relating, more scarcity, and then trust factors, the picture and that. And like I said, I would have a PS that built a little bit more scarcity and urgency. And then these are just the details and some things that I've found help conversions. So other things to consider, some people like to have a great big infographic as their sales page. I'm not as fond of that. I like to use images and video when appropriate, particularly things that show people saying you did a good job or anything where it's a person and something someone can relate to. Those are kind of the main elements. And then text formatting is important too. You see how I use like a big font that people can read? I found that actually makes a big difference. The default font is not small, but it doesn't stand out. You see how this one kind of stands out as compared to, say, hopefully this is a good example. The text on that one. It's great, big, easy to read text. And those are kind of the main elements. Spend as much time as you can on getting this right. This is the most important thing. This is what will convert when I say convert, I mean turn someone looking at it into someone that buys it. This, more than any one thing, it will take someone that doesn't have any reviews and get them some sales. So spend as much time on this as you can. Submit yours in the group, and I'll be happy to look them over and give you some advice, as will other folks in the group. And if you have any questions as well, ask those in the group, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.